A lot of times, Black and brown funders, we don't have that legacy of having, our father's father doing this, but you have a room full of people that are sharing this journey with you and are at different levels.
I'm Vanessa Villaverde. We're in Atlanta, Georgia because we've created something new. We brought together Black and brown funders from all over the country. People have flown in. People are bringing their time and their talents for the purpose of ultimately ensuring everybody has access to the information around all types of funding. Angel investment, venture capital, crowdfunding.
This is an opportunity for you to actually ask questions. They are here for it.
Oftentimes people are in those silos, right? Or people are sharing the codes in rooms that we don't have access to. Right now we're opening those doors, right? And we want to invite people from this community in to share the codes with one another as we learn them so that we all can self-actualize. That's what we're doing here.
Less than 2% of venture capital and angel dollars go to Black and brown founders, less than 2%. So we're getting absolutely nothing, right? I always say that we're on the wrong side of the 1%.
We're a young community. When you look at the United States and you look at folks of color, very young in this country. So we were just starting to see, especially in the Latinx community, just starting to see the tsunami of entrepreneurs that are graduating from college.
The biggest challenge has been, I would say, the access to the information. And so this conference is really giving a lot of founders access to this information that you can't easily get from asking someone, coldly on the street.
Well, I believe knowledge is really power. I know it sounds cliche, but you don't really need a wealth transfer. You need a knowledge transfer so you know how to do things and how to apply it to your own situation. So the knowledge that we've gained here, the people that we've met, key insights, information we didn't know, it just makes it so much easier when you have access to that.
To be here now with some of the largest VCs in the world, some amazing companies, and really connecting founders to funding and bringing that conversation to the community, brother, I couldn't be happier to see what's happening today.
My question for a VC or angel investor, when is it appropriate to send the pitch deck?
Founders get told all the time, you just got to go find them. Just go find them. That's almost insurmountable, right? And so what has transpired over the last 3 to 5 years, maybe a little bit longer than that, is we've seen an emergence of more Black and brown investors. And they have been able to find each other through events that are coordinated for them. And in order for us to really move the needle and help drive economic growth, drive new technologies in healthcare, drive new technologies, we really have to invest in the next generation.
Part of what we do, and I say this all the time, is that we're not just investors. And if we were only investors, then we would be back at the office and focusing on deals in front of us. This kind of conference that supports the development of diverse founders is super important to me. It's super important to the country, but it's super important to me too. And I know that talking about it by itself is not going to do it.
Everybody has more to give than money. So if I can answer your question, if I can connect you to someone else, sometimes that turns into a relationship that turns into funding.
It's exactly what I've been asking for quite a while. I've lived here since 2009. I haven't seen this type of fervor for this type of work until this moment. So it's really important for us to try to figure out how Black and brown people can coalesce in a better way.
So if we live in a system in which only wealthy people can get more wealthy, none of it works. So I started the Sparrow Fund, which is a series of special purpose vehicles because it allows for new investors to enter this market that may or may not be accredited. And this can only happen a certain way until they have enough wealth under management to officially become an accredited angel investor.
Targeting Black and brown communities is important because really, when you look at the history of this nation, most of these folks that are involved in all of this are the people that are paying for everybody else to live a very happy lifestyle, and we put in the hard work. And it's nice to see some of us start to come up and make a difference. But really the end goal is to be the change.
I think that there's a real critical time for significant change in the Black and brown community to forge new relationships because we're thinking in similar ways. We want to achieve certain solutions. We want to achieve generational wealth. We want to achieve access. My hope is that this is an opportunity for us to actually forge new grounds where it's not just about capital, but that we're truly forming new capital structures.
There's nothing wrong with learning and getting yourself educated, especially for Black and brown founders. We don't come from the same starting point that most of our white male peers and even some of our white female peers start.
I think it's important that we continue to create environments and communities where underrepresented founders get access to capital, access to those knowledge bases, and also access to mentors. I think when Black founders are funded, that's how you build a tax base in communities. That's how you get more money for local schools. That's how you deal with education and food and so many other issues that we face. I think it always goes back to really supporting Black founders, and I really believe that entrepreneurship is 21st century activism. So events like this are helping to change the world.
For a event such as this, where the coordinator is saying, you come to the founders, you come to this community, don't let the founders go try to figure out where you are. You investors take the time and the money to come and spend a few days with the founders. That is priceless.
3 days of VCs coming out of their offices to this center to have the real conversation, to look you in the eye, to shake your hand, to have a conversation with you from a panel, but also sharing a meal with you as well. That's how you build real authentic relationships.
We focus on closing the gap between you and the financial markets, you and the corporate venture markets, and you and the VC markets.
If you can get over some of these humps, you can access capital. And it's a matter of time and tension. And by the way, you start a company or an idea, don't expect to go the full distance. You catch the ball when you're at the 20-yard line and you got to make it to the other end zone. You don't just run a straight line.
Everybody has a company in them. And by having access to people that can help you create that company, suddenly you're able to build faster and make that journey happen faster.
At the very least, I think I want folks to kind of walk away with some degree of the venture world in entrepreneurship and investing demystified. At the very least, I want to be able to answer questions honestly. So one day they'll say, I recall this guy years ago on this panel, and he said, you got to look for the investors that are already looking for you. And hopefully something like that comes back to folks and helps them on their journey.
My goal is that this continue and people have ways to engage each other ongoing. They have a way to do the research on investment in one platform. I learned a long time ago, you need more than money. You need information, and we're bringing access to that.